The rain-slicked streets of Willow Creek, Ohio, gleamed under the patrol car's headlights like a warning. Officer Jordan Hale gripped the steering wheel tighter, his pulse hammering as he pulled over the sleek black sedan that had been weaving just a hair too erratically through the midnight fog. License and registration. He barked through the rolled-down window, flashlight beam cutting sharp into the driver's face. And then the world tilted, because those eyes, that jawline, belonged to a ghost he'd buried deep in the recesses of a high school locker room 12 years ago. Alex Rivera stared back, unflinching, his hand trembling only slightly as he passed over the ID, the address on it screaming like a siren's call. 147, Maple Drive, the very house Jordan had sworn on his mother's grave he'd never set foot near again. Jordan's breath caught, the plastic card burning his gloved fingers. He wanted to hurl it back, to hit the gas and vanish into the storm, but duty, and something darker, hungrier, kept him rooted. "Step out of the vehicle, sir," he said, voice cracking like thunder on the edge of breaking. As Alex complied, the downpour soaking through his thin jacket, Jordan's mind raced back to that sweltering summer night, the one that had shattered them both. Two boys tangled in desperate whispers behind the bleachers, promising forever until Jordan's father's belt and the town's whispers tore it all apart. Now here they were, strangers in the same skin they'd shed, and Jordan knew one truth above all. This stop wasn't random. It was fate's cruelest joke, dragging him back to the love he'd fled and the man he'd destroyed to save himself. The precinct's fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets overhead as Jordan slumped into his desk chair, the ID still clutched in his fist like a talisman he couldn't release. Willow Creek hadn't changed much since he'd left for the academy in Columbus. Same cracked sidewalks, same narrow-minded glares from folks who'd known him as the golden boy quarterback, not the kid who'd once held hands with another boy under the stars. He'd built a life here as a cop, straight arrow reliable, married briefly to a woman who deserved better, divorced quietly when the lie grew too heavy. But Alex had vanished after that night, rumors swirling like smoke, city lights in New York, a fancy job in graphic design, maybe even a boyfriend or two splashed across social media that Jordan had stalked in weak moments. Seeing that address, his parents' old house, now Alex's aunt's after the accident, felt like ripping open a scar. "Everything all right, Hale?" Sergeant Ruiz poked his head around the corner, his mustache twitching with that paternal concern Jordan both hated and craved. Ruiz was one of the few who'd guessed at Jordan's secrets, never pushing but always watching with eyes that said, "I see you, kid. That stop on Elm, guy give you trouble?" Jordan forced a grin, tucking the ID into his pocket. "Nah, just a tired driver." Gave him a warning. Line number 1 for the night. He couldn't log it. Not yet. Explaining why he'd let Alex go without a ticket would unravel everything. As Ruiz wandered off, Jordan pulled out his phone, thumb hovering over Alex's name in the contacts he'd never deleted. No call. Instead, he drove home through the easing rain, the wipers slapping rhythmically like a heartbeat he couldn't silence. His apartment was a Spartan cave, badge on the dresser, protein shakes in the fridge, a single photo of his sister Miah's wedding where he stood stiff in the back row. Sleep evaded him. Visions of Alex's soaked shirt clinging to his frame, those hazel eyes holding accusation, and something softer, unspoken. By dawn, Jordan was back on patrol, eyes scanning every corner for that black sedan, telling himself it was protocol, not obsession. Willow Creek was small. After all, fewer than 10,000 souls, most of them clinging to traditions like lifelines. The kind of place where rainbows on flags drew sneers, and family values meant hiding who you were or leaving for good. He spotted the car outside the old diner on Main, the one with the flickering neon sign that read "Eats like a challenge." Alex was inside, hunched over coffee, sketching on a napkin with furious strokes. Jordan's boots echoed on the linoleum as he entered, the bell above the door jangling like an alarm. Heads turned, Betty behind the counter, old man Hargrove nursing his eggs, then away, whispers starting. Alex looked up, pencil pausing midline, his expression a fortress, guarded, but with cracks where hurt seeped through. "We need to talk," Jordan said, sliding into the booth opposite, voice low. The scent of bacon and regret hung heavy between them. Alex's laugh was bitter, short. "Now you want to talk?" After you ran. I didn't run. I protected us. The words tasted like ash. Protected? He'd shoved Alex away, called him names in front of the team to prove his straightness, watched as Alex's light dimmed under the weight of it all. What are you doing back here? Aunt Clara. Alex nodded, folding the napkin into a tight square. Cancer. Stage 4. She asked me to come, handle things. Sell the house, maybe. His voice cracked on house, the one with the creaky porch swing where they'd shared their first kiss, innocent and electric. Jordan's chest tightened. Clara had been kind, the aunt who'd baked pies and never batted an eye at their friendship. I'm sorry. Look, that stop last night. I shouldn't have. Shouldn't have pulled me over? Or shouldn't have seen me? Alex's eyes flashed, the fire Jordan remembered from debate club, from stolen moments in the library stacks. You look like you'd seen a dead man, Jordan. What? Afraid the town's gonna find out their hero cops got a past. The diner fell silent, forks pausing. Jordan leaned in, pulse roaring. Keep your voice down. This isn't New York. People talk. And you care? Still, Alex's gaze bored into him, peeling back layers Jordan had armored over. I thought you'd grown up. But here you are, badge and all, playing the part. Jordan's hand twitched toward his coffee, knuckles white. He wanted to grab Alex's wrist, pull him close like before, but the booth felt like a chasm. It's not that simple. My job, my family, Miah just had a kid. What would they say? Alex's expression softened, just a fraction. They'd say you're human. Or they would, if you let them. He stood, tossing a 10 on the table. Thanks for the warning, officer. But next time, ticket me. Makes it easier to hate you. He was gone before Jordan could respond, the bell jangling like a slammed door. Jordan sat there, steam rising from his untouched mug, the weight of unspoken apologies pressing down. He didn't follow, not then. But as he drove away, the address burned in his pocket again, a beacon pulling him toward the house on Maple Drive, where ghosts waited and truths he'd buried might finally claw their way free. The afternoon sun slanted through the blinds of Clara Rivera's living room, casting long shadows over faded floral wallpaper and stacks of medical bills. Jordan stood on the porch, fist raised to knock, second-guessing every step that had led him here. He'd told himself it was a welfare check, protocol for out-of-towners, but the truth was raw. He needed to see Alex again, to bridge the gulf or widen it. Anything to stop the ache that had started with that ID and bloomed into something dangerous. The door creaked open, and there was Alex, sleeves rolled up, flour dusting his forearms from whatever pie Clara insisted on baking despite the chemo. You, Alex said, not surprised, not welcoming. Clara's napping. Bad day. Jordan nodded, shifting his weight. I brought this. He held out a paper bag from the pharmacy, Gatorade, ginger chews, the little things that helped with nausea. From Ruiz's wife. She's a nurse. Alex eyed the bag. Then Jordan, suspicion warring with gratitude. Thanks. Come in, I guess. But make it quick. The house smelled of vanilla and antiseptic, a bittersweet cocktail that twisted Jordan's gut. Photos lined the mantel. Alex at 8, gap-toothed grin. Clara and her late husband at the lake. And one of the two of them, arms slung around each other at prom. Jordan cropped out, but the memory intact. They settled in the kitchen, Alex pouring coffee with deliberate slowness. Why'd you come back for real? Jordan asked, the question slipping out unbidden. You could have sent a lawyer. Hell, you could have let the place rot. Alex leaned against the counter, arms crossed. Because it's home, messed up as it is. And because. He trailed off, eyes flicking to the window where kids biked past, carefree. Because I never got closure. You owe me that much. Jordan's throat tightened. Closure? He'd spent years chasing it in therapy sessions he never finished, in one-night stands that left him emptier, in a badge that promised control. I was scared, Alex. Dad found out about us. He said he'd disown me, send me to conversion camp like Uncle Ray. I panicked, pushed you away to save my skin. Alex's laugh was hollow. Save your skin? You broke mine. Called me a fag in front of the whole team, remember? So they'd think you were one of them. I transferred schools, left everything. Built a life where I didn't have to hide. The word fag hung between them, ugly and familiar, a slur Jordan had hurled to survive, but now tasted like poison. I know. God, I know. I've hated myself for it every day. But Willow Creek. It's poison for people like us. Look at Tommy Jenkins, beat half to death last year for holding his boyfriend's hand at the fair. I arrested the guys, but it didn't change shit. Alex's eyes narrowed, a spark of the old fire. People like us? You say that like you're still in. Like you didn't marry Sarah to prove a point. Jordan winced. Sarah, sweet, oblivious Sarah, who'd sensed the distance and let him go without a fight. It was a mistake. A cover. I'm gay, Alex. Always was. Just buried it. The admission landed soft, seismic. Alex searched his face, the silence stretching taut. Then softer. I know. Saw it in your eyes last night. But knowing and doing are different. Before Jordan could reply, a cough rattled from upstairs, Clara stirring. Alex straightened. Help me with dinner? She likes meatloaf. Thinks it's her last supper or something morbid. They moved in awkward tandem, chopping onions that stung Jordan's eyes worse than tears. Stories slipped out in fragments. Alex's life in the city, designing covers for queer-lit mags, marching in pride with lovers who'd come and gone. Jordan's quiet nights volunteering at the shelter, pulling doubles to avoid his own bed. Laughter edged in when Alex mocked Jordan's knife skills. Still can't dice like a man? And for a moment, the kitchen felt like the old treehouse, safe from the world. But as they set the table, Clara's voice called down, frail but sharp. That you, Alex? And, is that Jordan Hale? Lord, boy, you finally grew into those shoulders. Clara Rivera was a force, even tethered to an oxygen tank, her eyes missing nothing. Dinner was a minefield of nostalgia, tales of their boyhood pranks, the time they'd borrowed her car for a joyride to the quarry. But under it, tension simmered. Clara's knowing glances, Alex's guarded smiles, Jordan's fear that one wrong word would detonate it all. As night fell, Jordan lingered on the porch, the swing creaking under their weight. Stars pricked the sky, indifferent witnesses. I don't want to leave, he admitted, voice rough. Not like this. Alex turned, face shadowed. Then don't. But if you stay, stay for real. No half measures. Their hands brushed, electric, tentative, and Jordan pulled back, heart pounding. Not here, not yet. But as he drove away, the promise lingered, a thread pulling him back from the edge he'd towed for so long. Days blurred into a fragile rhythm, Jordan's shifts ending with detours to Maple Drive, bringing groceries or sitting with Clara while Alex handled calls to realtors. The town noticed, whispers at the station, Ruiz's arched brow, but Jordan deflected, claiming old family ties. Inside, though, storms brewed. Alex was a whirlwind, passionate rants about gentrifying queer spaces in the city, quiet sketches of the house's overgrown garden that hinted at roots he couldn't sever. Jordan watched, mesmerized, the man Alex had become, confident, scarred, beautiful in his unapologetic way. One evening, as thunder rumbled distant, they walked the backyard, fireflies dancing like errant thoughts. Remember this? Alex asked, pointing to the oak where they'd carved initials, now overgrown with moss. Jordan traced the bark, fingers lingering. How could I forget? You dared me to climb it naked after swim practice. Alex chuckled, low and warm. You chickened out. Called me crazy. You were. Jordan met his gaze, the air thick. Still are? For coming back. For letting me in. Alex stepped closer, the space between them shrinking to breath. Not letting. Fighting it every step. But you're still the boy who made me believe in more. Their lips met, soft, searching, a question answered in the press of mouths. No fire, just depth, years pouring into that one moment. Jordan's hands cupped Alex's face, thumbs brushing tears he hadn't noticed. When they parted, foreheads touching, Alex whispered, "This scares me." Me too. Jordan's voice broke. But in that admission, freedom flickered, a crack in the armor. Clara caught them later, shuffling out for water, her smile faint but approving. About time, boys. Life's too short for what-ifs. She squeezed Jordan's hand, her grip surprisingly strong. But mind the town. Not everyone's as blind as I pretend to be. Her warning echoed the next day at the station, where a report landed on Jordan's desk. Vandalism at the community center, slurs spray-painted on the wall where the pride flag hung limp. Fags go home. The timing twisted like a knife. Alex's return had stirred old vipers. Jordan's blood ran cold. Was it random or targeted? He drove to the house, finding Alex pale over his laptop, an email from the realtor. Offer rescinded after local concerns. They're coming for us, Alex said, voice steady but eyes wild. Just like before. Jordan pulled him close, resolve hardening. Not this time. I won't let them. But as night deepened, a brick shattered the kitchen window, glass exploding like accusations. Shards glittered on the floor, a note taped to it. Leave or else. Jordan's cop instincts surged. Call it in, secure the scene, but Alex's hand on his arm stopped him. No badges. Not yet. They'll spin it. Make you the villain for protecting me. The argument flared, Jordan's duty clashing with Alex's distrust, years of pain fueling the fire. I can't hide anymore. Jordan shouted, pacing the living room. This is my home too. Is it? Alex shot back, voice raw. Or just another stage? Words flew like shrapnel. Coward, selfish, liar. Until Jordan stormed out, rain lashing his face as he sped through town. He ended up at the quarry, tires crunching gravel, the same spot where he'd once driven Alex after their first fight, promising the stars as witnesses. Now, alone, he screamed into the void, fists pounding the dash until pain grounded him. Hours later, his phone buzzed. Alex. Claire's asking for you. Come back. The hospital room smelled of bleach and wilted flowers, Clara's bed a battlefield of tubes and monitors. She looked smaller, but her eyes lit when Jordan entered, Alex trailing silent behind. Sit, both of you, she rasped, patting the bed. No more dancing around it. They listened as she spoke, voice weaving through morphine haze, stories of her own youth, loving a woman in secret during the war, losing her to shame and silence. I see you too, same as we were. Don't waste it. Fight, but fight together. Tears tracked down Alex's cheeks. Jordan's hand found his under the blanket, anchor in the storm. As Clara drifted off, they slipped out to the hallway, the fluorescent hum underscoring the quiet. I'm sorry, Jordan murmured. For everything. For not being brave then. But I am now. Alex nodded, exhaustion etching lines. Me too. Let's sell the damn house. Get her to the city for better care. Start over, somewhere they can't touch us. Hope bloomed, tentative. But Willow Creek had one last twist. The next morning, Ruiz called Jordan in early. That vandalism? Prints on the brick match a kid from your old team, Bobby Klein's boy. Says his dad put him up to it. Send a message to the ferry come home. Rage boiled, but Jordan reined it. Klein, his former coach, the man who'd preached man up while ignoring the locker room taunts. Arrest him? Ruiz shook his head. D-Ace dragging feet. Small-town politics. But you got history here. Watch your back. Jordan confronted Klein that afternoon, badge heavy on his hip, at the auto shop where grease stained everything. You scare easy, coach, he said, voice steel. Picking on the sick and the scared. Klein's face purpled, wrench clattering. You defending that queer? After all we taught you. The slur landed, but Jordan stood tall. Yeah, because I'm queer too. And Alex? He's family. Touch him again, and family values be damned. I'll bury you. The shop fell silent, mechanics gaping. Klein sputtered, but the fight drained from him, replaced by ugly realization. Words spread like wildfire. The cop was one of them. Calls flooded the station, support from unlikely corners, vitriol from others. Miah texted, proud of you, bro. Finally. Back at the house, Alex waited on the porch, Clara's prognosis better than feared, remission possible with the right treatment. Heard about Klein, Alex said, pulling Jordan into an embrace. You outed yourself. For me. For us. Jordan kissed his temple, the world shifting underfoot. No more promises to never return. This is home, wherever we make it. As summer waned, they packed the house, laughter mingling with tears. Twists lingered, a surprise inheritance from Clara funding their move, a town pride event sparked by the scandal, even Klein's awkward apology over coffee. But the deepest turn was internal. Jordan shedding his armor, Alex forgiving without forgetting, their love a tapestry rewoven from frayed threads. In the end, as they drove out under a harvest moon, Willow Creek shrinking in the rear view, Jordan glanced at Alex's hand in his. Ready for the city? Alex smiled, true and bright. With you? Always. And in that grip, The past loosened its hold, making way for a future fierce with possibility. Yet the road to New York wasn't a straight shot. Detours came in the form of Clara's sudden rally, insisting on one last county fair before the city doctors took over. Hog roast and cotton candy, she declared from her wheelchair, eyes twinkling despite the oxygen mask. And you too, dancing under the lights like proper fools. Jordan exchanged a look with Alex, half exasperation, half adoration, and they relented, turning the drive into a loop back through Ohio's heartland. The fairgrounds buzzed with chaos, Ferris wheel creaking against the dusk, funnel cake grease heavy in the air, kids shrieking on the zipper. Jordan pushed Clara's chair through the crowds, Alex scouting for the best stalls, their fingers brushing in passing like secret codes. For the first time in years, Jordan felt seen, not as the cop or the ex-jock, but as himself, hand in hand with the man who knew his every fracture. But Willow Creek's shadow lingered. As they queued for the apple bobbing, a voice slithered through the noise. Well, if it ain't the prodigal pansy and his badge boy. Harlan Tate, Klein's drinking buddy, beer bottle in hand, flanked by two red-faced cronies. Tate had been the ringleader back in high school, the one who'd spread the rumors after Jordan's betrayal, turning whispers into shouts. Jordan's spine stiffened, protective instinct flaring. Tate, enjoy the fair. With your family. Tate's laugh barked, drawing eyes. Family? That's rich, coming from you. Parading this around my kid. He jabbed a finger at Alex, who stood frozen, color draining. Clara's voice cut sharp from her chair. Harlan Tate, you shut that pie hole before I wheel over your foot. Ain't no place for hate at God's own carnival. The crowd murmured, some nodding, others shifting uncomfortably. Tate sneered but backed off, muttering slurs under his breath as he melted into the throng. Alex exhaled shakily, forcing a smile for Clara. Thanks, Aunt C. Remind me to get you extra corn dogs. But the encounter lodged like a splinter. That night, motel room lights dimmed. Jordan paced while Alex sketched furiously, lines jagged. He's everywhere, Alex said finally, pencil snapping. Like the town's got tentacles. Jordan sank beside him, pulling him close. Not forever. We're leaving tomorrow. Clara's tests are good, city's waiting. Alex leaned into him, tension easing. I know. Just tired of running the gauntlet. Makes me wonder if we ever really escape. They talked then, deep into the witching hour. Alex confessing city heartbreaks, lovers who'd bailed at the first sign of his small-town baggage. Jordan admitting the isolation of the closet, dates that fizzled because he couldn't risk vulnerability. Vulnerability. The word hung, a bridge they crossed tentatively. Kisses turning from comfort to kindling, bodies aligning in the narrow bed with a reverence born of loss. Morning brought blue skies and a doctor's note. Clara stable enough for travel. They hit the highway, radio crooning old country tunes that Clara hummed off-key, her hand on Alex's knee. Jordan drove, one eye on the mirror for tales that never came, the other on the horizon where skyscrapers beckoned like salvation. New York swallowed them whole. Hustle of taxis, steam rising from grates, the pulse of a city that didn't blink at hand-holding strangers. They settled Clara into a loft in Brooklyn, Alex's old stomping grounds, walls lined with his art, vibrant abstracts of fractured hearts mending under rainbows. The oncologist was optimistic, chemo-aggressive, but promising. For weeks, normalcy teased. Jordan job hunting at precincts upstate for something quieter, Alex diving back into freelance gigs, evenings spent cooking takeout Thai and debating rom-coms. But fractures spiderwebbed. Jordan's interviews stalled, references glowing, but that Ohio twang drawing questions, subtle biases and smiles that didn't reach eyes. Small-town cop? We need urban savvy. One captain said, code for not your kind. Nights, he'd stare at the ceiling, badge from Willow Creek mocking him from the nightstand. Alex noticed, withdrawing into work, sketches turning somber. One dinner, over cold lo mein, it erupted. You're punishing me. Alex accused, chopsticks clattering. Dragging your feet on the move because deep down, you missed the fight. Jordan reeled. Miss it. I'm trying to build something here, for us. But every door slams because of who we are. Who we are, Alex echoed, bitter. Or who you were. Still chasing approval from suits who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. The words stung true, Jordan storming out into the neon night, pounding pavement until lungs burned. He ended up at a dive bar in the village, rainbow flags fluttering like taunts. A drag queen at the counter, Lila, all sequins and sarcasm, slid him a whiskey. Rough night, handsome? Spill. He did, haltingly. The stop, the reunion, the love reclaimed, and now fraying. Lila listened, fanning herself dramatically. Honey, love's not a straight line, pun intended. It's a conga through minefields. You gotta choose. Cling to ghosts or dance with the living. Dawn found him on the stoop, head in hands. When Alex appeared, coffee in hand, eyes red-rimmed. Clara made me come. Said we'd both be idiots to let pride win. They sat, shoulders touching, apologies unspoken but felt. I applied to a precinct in Jersey, Jordan said finally. Closer commute, less bullshit. And therapy. For real this time. Unpack the crap Dad drilled in. Alex nodded, relief softening his edges. Good. And I'll cut back on gigs. Make space for us. Dates, not deadlines. Clara's voice crackled over speakerphone later. That's my boys. Now, who's taking me to that queer bookstore tomorrow? I need memoirs, not more medical journals. Laughter bubbled, a bomb. But life, ever the trickster, had one more curve. A call from Willow Creek. Miah, voice trembling, Dad's sick. Heart attack. Asking for you, Jordy. Says he needs to make things right. The line went silent, Jordan's world tilting again. Alex squeezed his hand. Go. Or we go. But don't carry it alone. Jordan booked the flight, stomach knotted. Facing Harlan Tate at the fair had been steel. This was bone-deep dread. The prodigal son, returning not triumphant but humbled, to a father who'd wielded Bible verses like weapons. The hospital in Columbus was sterile, beeping monitors a dirge. Dad looked shrunken, tubes snaking, but his eyes, fierce, faded, locked on Jordan's. Miah hovered, baby on hip, her nod encouraging. Son, Dad rasped, voice gravel. Heard about you. The news. Jordan braced, old defenses rising. Yeah, I'm gay, Dad. Have been. And I'm happy. Silence stretched, then a tear tracked down weathered cheek. Should have said sooner. After your mom. I got scared. Thought I'd lose you too. Pushed too hard. The confession cracked something in Jordan. Forgiveness, not full but starting, a weight lifting. You didn't lose me. But you hurt me. Hurt Alex. Dad nodded, wincing. Klein told me. About the brick. I set him straight. Pun not intended. A ghost of a smile. Bring him next time. Make amends. Miah teared up, hugging Jordan fierce. He's changing, bro, slowly. Back in New York, Alex listened, then pulled him into bed, bodies entwining slow, reaffirming. Proud of you, he murmured against Jordan's neck. For going. For coming back. Clara's scans improved, treatment clicking. She even joined a knitting circle at the center, swapping stories with widows and activists alike. Jordan landed the Jersey gig, community liaison, focusing on hate crime prevention, his Ohio scars a strength. Alex's latest cover, for a novel about reclaimed love, sold out pre-orders. Yet tension simmered, subtle. Jordan's late shifts leaving Alex alone with sketches unfinished, whispers of drift from friends at brunches. One night, over rooftop wine, it surfaced. You're pulling away, Alex said, city lights reflecting in his eyes. Job's good, but we're routine. Jordan frowned, glass pausing. Routine? That's bad. It's safe. But we fought for fire, remember? Let's stoke it. The challenge sparked. Weekend getaways, no phones, a class in pottery, hands messy with clay and laughter. Even a trip to Fire Island. Waves crashing as they walked beaches hand in hand. Strangers' smiles a quiet victory. Clara's remission held, her laugh filling the loft at family dinners. Jordan's sister visiting, tots underfoot. But fate, that sly fox, whispered one final surprise. A letter from Willow Creek, postmarked Klein's shop. Inside, a check, proceeds from a town fund for vandal repairs, but earmarked for Clara's care. Scribbled note. Sorry don't fix glass, but it's a start. H.T. Alex read it aloud, incredulous. Hell freezing over? Jordan chuckled. Maybe. Or just people being human. As autumn leaves turned, They stood on the Brooklyn Bridge, wind whipping, city sprawling below. To us, Alex toasted with a thermos of coffee. Twists and all. Jordan clinked, heart full, to never running again. And in that vow, the story looped, not ended, but evolved. Love a river carving new paths through stone. Winter clamped down on the city like a vice, snow blanketing brownstones in deceptive peace. Jordan's new role at the Jersey precinct demanded more than he'd bargained for. Sensitivity trainings that dredged old wounds, community meetings where distrust simmered beneath polite nods. He thrived on it, though, channeling Willow Creek's ghosts into advocacy, partnering with local LGBTQ+ centers to map safe spaces. Alex watched with quiet pride, but his own world tilted. A major client pulled a project after creative differences, code for Alex's provocative, queer themes clashing with corporate blandness. Nights grew taut, conversations skirting edges. It's just one gig, Alex insisted over reheated lasagna, but his sketches piled up, half-formed figures staring accusingly from the table. Jordan, bone-tired from a day diffusing a biased complaint at a bodega, snapped. Then pitch something else. You can't let them win. Alex's fork stilled. Them? Were you? Pushing me to fit in like you did back home. The echo of old fights reverberated, Jordan's temper flaring. I'm fighting for us to fit. Bills don't pay themselves. Or do you want to go back to scraping by? Alex shoved back from the table, chair scraping loud. Scraping by with passion, not your safe little box. He grabbed his coat, doors slamming behind him. Jordan sat in the sudden quiet, regret flooding hot. He knew Alex's fire, had fallen for it under oak trees and city lights. But fear not. What if this time the spark guttered out? He texted Miah, screwed up again. Advice? Her reply pinged quick. Call him. And mean it. Love's not patrol duty. Hours ticked, worry carving deeper. At 2 a.m., the door creaked open. Alex shuffled in, cheeks flushed from cold or tears. Jordan rose, arms open. I'm sorry. I sound like Dad when I do that. Forget you're the artist who sees what I can't. Alex collapsed against him, coat shedding snow. And I forget you're carrying the load. The client's a dick, old money, hates agenda art. But it stings, feeling small again. They thawed over hot cocoa, confessions spilling. Alex's imposter syndrome from small-town scars. Jordan's anxiety that success would expose him as fraud. Dawn broke with a plan. Alex pitching to indie presses, Jordan carving out us time amid shifts. Clara's holiday party saved the season, loft strung with lights, queer carolers belting twisted tunes outside, her circle of knitting cronies swapping yarns and yarns. Miah flew in with the kids, chaos reigning as toddlers smeared frosting on Jordan's uniform pants. Uncle Jordy gay, the littlest declared, waving a rainbow ornament, drawing laughs that healed something deep. But mid-festivities, Alex pulled Jordan aside, eyes bright. Got an email. That indie house. They want the series, full spread. Raw real, they said. Jordan hooped, spinning him in a hug that drew cheers. Knew it. You're unstoppable. The high carried into January, snowshoe hikes in the Palisades, where pines whispered secrets and hands linked against the chill. Yet undercurrents stirred. Jordan's precinct buzzed with a case, string of assaults on trans youth in neighboring towns, whispers of a hate group organizing online. Sounds like Tate's playbook, Jordan muttered over breakfast, scrolling feeds. Alex paled. Don't go vigilante. Promise me. I won't. But if it creeps here. Jordan trailed off, resolve stealing. He dove deeper, liaising with feds, his Ohio drawl disarming sources who'd clam up for city slickers. Fate's next twist arrived unannounced. A knock at the loft, snow swirling. Harlan Tate stood there, bundled awkward, hat in hands. Heard about the attacks. Klein. He passed last month. Liver. Made me think. This is for your aunt. He thrust a shoebox. Photos, letters from Klein's youth, hints of his own buried struggles. A cousin lost to AIDS, unspoken regrets. Alex accepted, stunned. Why now? Tate shrugged, eyes down. Saw your art online. Klein showed me before. Touched him, somehow. Figured apologies are like snow, better fresh. He left as quick as come, box of Pandora's trove. Inside, they found Klein's journal, Entries of guilt over the brick, admiration for Jordan's guts. Even a draft letter to Alex never sent. He was broken too, Jordan said, voice thick. Like us. Clara wept reading it, then laughed. Foolish men. All heart. No sense. She tucked a photo in her Bible. Klein young, smiling genuine. Rest for him. The discovery rippled. Alex channeled it into a graphic novel pitch, Shadows on Maple, weaving small-town redemption. Jordan testified at a state hearing, Klein's words lending weight to calls for hate crime reforms. Momentum built, press coverage, a viral thread on X tying rural biases to urban echoes. But personal storms brewed. Jordan's ex, Sarah, emailed out of blue. Heard you're out. Good for you. But Miah says you're happy. Truth? Attached, a photo of her new life. Wife, dog, picket fence in Seattle. If not, remember, you deserve fireworks, not embers. The note hit like a gut punch. That night, post-shift, Jordan found Alex buried in deadlines. Takeout boxes sentinel. We need to talk, he said, heart hammering. Alex looked up, wary. About. Us. This. Jordan gestured vague. The loft, the grind, the love that felt sturdy but threadbare. Sarah wrote. She's right. We're surviving, not thriving. Alex's face shuddered. So what? Bail like she did. No. God, no. Jordan knelt, taking his hands. Fight for more. Travel. Therapy together. Hell, adopt a cat. Something alive, not just a circling. Alex searched his eyes, then softened. Cat sounds good. And, yeah, more. They signed up for couples counseling the next week, a queer therapist in Chelsea with a no BS vibe. Sessions peeled layers. Jordan's control issues rooted in Dad's volatility, Alex's walls from high school exile. Breakthroughs came slow, date nights at jazz clubs, where sax whales mirrored their jagged edges smoothing. Spring bloomed tentative, Clara's strength returning enough for a park picnic. But the hate group case escalated. A rally planned in Jersey, flyers decrying groomers in schools. Jordan's unit prepped, tension coiling. Stay safe, Alex urged, kissing him fierce at dawn. The rally turned ugly fast, chants escalating to shoves, counter-protesters clashing. Jordan waded in, badge flashing, de-escalating a knot of teens with megaphones spewing venom. One lunged, fist connecting with his jaw, stars burst, but he held ground, cuffing the kid gentle. You're better than this, he said, voice steady through blood. The boy spat, but eyes flickered doubt. Back home, ice on his bruise. Alex cleaned him up, touches tender. Hero, he teased, but worry lingered. Idiot, maybe. Jordan pulled him down. But yours. Clara's full remission scan arrived midsummer. Clear. Celebration spilled into the streets. Barbecue on the roof. Toasts with spiked lemonade. Miah announced her move east, closer to my favorite brother and his better half. Tate even Skyped in, awkward but earnest. Fair's coming. You boys. Welcome anytime. As leaves turned again, Jordan proposed. Not ring, but promise. Over skyline dinner. Marry me? Not for show, but for us. Legal, loud, forever. Alex's yes was a sob, kiss sealing it. Twists had bent them, but here, unbroken, they stood. Wedding plans unfurled like a banner. Small, Brooklyn courthouse affair, but with Clara's flair. Vows under a chuppah borrowed from a rabbi friend. Cake rainbow layered. Invites went wide. Miah and fam. Sarah with her wife. Even Tate RSVPing, if y'all don't mind the hayseed. Jordan's precinct threw a surprise shower, rookies draping him in just hitched sash, laughter echoing off lockers. But under joy, undercurrents churned. Alex's graphic novel hit shelves to acclaim. Reviews praising its visceral take on queer rural survival. But backlash brewed online, trolls dredging Willow Creek dirt, doxing threats pinging his inbox. It's exposure, Alex said, deleting threads, but sleep evaded, sketches turning nightmarish. Jordan monitored, his liaison role pulling him into digital task forces tracking the hate network. Leads pointed south, Georgia chapters funding Jersey ops, but close. A cell in Philly, whispers of a hit on high-profile pansies. Paranoia crept. Jordan installed cameras at the loft, shifts overlapping Alex's home time. Clara sensed it, cornering them post-yoga class. You're glowing, but guarded. Spill. Over tea, truths tumbled. The threats, the fears. World's not Willow Creek, she said, firm. But it bites too. Lean on each other, and me. I've got a baseball bat from the war days. Her humor lightened, but resolve deepened. They hired security consult, low-key, a dyke ex-cop named Frankie who scoped the building, taught self-defense in the basement gym. Sessions turned bonding. Alex landing punches on pads, Jordan spotting, sweat mingling with grins. Yet the strain showed. One argument erupted over trivia, forgotten dry cleaning ballooning till you're checked out, ending in slammed doors. Jordan walked the bridge again, city lights blurring through frustrated tears. Lila's words echoed, dance or cling. He texted Alex, meet me. Halfway. They converged at the pier, waves lapping apology. I hate this, Alex admitted, bundled against wind. Love you fierce, but fear's a thief. Jordan nodded. Then we steal back. Vows soon. Let's mean them raw. Counseling amped up, therapist assigning fear dates, confronting phobias head-on. Jordan outed himself to old academy buddies over Zoom, hearts pounding, but responses warm. Alex read from his book at a lit fest, voice steady through heckles, applause thundering after. The wedding day dawned crisp, October gold. Courthouse steps thronged. Miah teary, Sarah snapping pics, Tate in ill-fitting suit, tipping hat shy. Clara wheeled front, clutching hanky. Vows exchanged simple. Jordan's I choose you, every twist. Alex's you make safe feel like adventure. Rings slid on, silver bands etched with maple leaves, and cheers erupted, kiss ceiling under confetti storm. Honeymoon whisked them to Provincetown, Cape Cod's queer haven. Dune walks hand in hand, whale watches where breaches mirrored breakthroughs. Nights in a lighthouse B&B, bodies rediscovering in firelight glow. This, Jordan murmured, tracing Alex's spine, is the plot twist I lived for. Back reality bit gentle. Novel tour for Alex, promo shifts for Jordan. But unity held, date nights sacred, Clara's check-ins weekly. Then, the case cracked. Philly raid netted the cell leader, a Klein acolyte with willow ties. Evidence trail led to Tate's tip, anonymous, but his scrawl unmistakable. Old dog's learning tricks, he grunted over call. Gratitude flowed, but deeper. A town email chain, Willow Creek's first ally alliance. Petitions for pride funding. You're doing, Alex said, reading aloud. Ours, Jordan corrected, pride swelling. Clara's holiday update. Travels planned. A cruise with knitting crew. You boys hold the fort. And make babies, or kittens. Either. Winter brought snowmen in the park. Jordan's precinct holiday party where he danced with Alex to Jingle Bell Rock, badges whooping approval. But a shadow slipped in. Dad's health dipped again, pneumonia felling the old fighter. Come say goodbye proper, Miah urged. Jordan flew solo, Alex holding fort. Hospital vigil stretched. Dad lucid spells, sharing war stories. Regrets aired clean. Proud son. Of the man you are. Last breath came peaceful, Jordan holding hand, closure bittersweet. Funeral packed the church, Klein's ghost in empty pew. Tate eulogizing gruff, stubborn as hell, but fair. Jordan spoke brief, he taught me strength. I hope I returned it. Back in New York, Alex enveloped him, grief shared in quiet holds. You gave him peace. Spring heralded renewal. Alex's sequel greenlit. Jordan promoted to sergeant, heading the bias unit. They adopted whiskers, a tabby with attitude, curling between them on movie nights. Clara's cruise postcards, met a widow. Scandalous. Yet complacency's whisper tempted. One eve, over tie, Alex mused, we're good. Too good. Missing the edge. Jordan arched brow. Edge, like Quarry Cliffs. Laughter bubbled, but truth lingered. They planned a road trip. Route 66 Redux, queer stops mapped, diners with history, motels with vibes. Adventure reignited spark. Mid-trip, in a Taos adobe, news broke. Willow Creek's inaugural pride, turnout triple expected. Invite attached, keynote? Your call. Alex grinned. Go back. Show M. Jordan hesitated, old scars twinging. Together? Always. The event dawned rainbow-drenched. Floats makeshift, bands local, crowd diverse. Farmers, families, faces from the past. Jordan spoke from a hay wagon stage. Alex beside. We left broken, returned whole. Hate hurts, but love? It rebuilds. Cheers roared. Tate in the front row, nodding solemn. Klein's boy, grown, tattooed, approached post. Saw Dad's journal. Sorry. This. It's right. Handshake sealed, bridges mending. Homebound, sunset painting desert gold. Jordan squeezed Alex's thigh. Twist keep coming. Alex smiled. Good. Keeps us sharp. And so, love's narrative wove on. Unpredictable, profound. Summer's heat wave baked the city. Air conditioners humming dirges as Jordan and Alex navigated the post-Pride glow. Willow Creek's success rippled nationally. A puff piece in the Times. Jordan fielding podcast invites on rural reclamation. Work surged. His unit expanded. Trainings booked solid. Alex's tour hitting coasts with sold-out readings. But abundance bred oversight. Jordan's calendar bloated. Panels, preps, precinct polishes, leaving Alex to solo loft life. Whiskers his sole conspirator. Texts grew sparse. Late again. Ty. Replies. Soon. Love. Alex buried in edits for book 2, but isolation echoed. Old abandonment, fears whispering. Clara called mid-July, voice buoyant from her cruise sequel. Boys, you're sounding like roommates, not husbands. Fan the flames. Guilt pricked. That weekend, Jordan cleared deck for a Hamptons escape. Borrowed beach house. No Wi-Fi. Waves crash therapy, bodies bronzed and bare, conversations deep as tides. Missed this, Alex admitted, sand gritting between toes. You. Jordan traced shells in the wet. Me too. Job's a beast. Feels like I'm saving the world, one seminar at a time. World needs it. But we need you whole. Vow renewed. They returned energized, joint calendar app. No, to excess gigs. Yet fate chuckled. A bombshell case landed. Federal task force tapping Jordan for lead on a multi-state hate ring. The Philly sells Hydra heads. 2 months, tops, he assured Alex over packing. Alex nodded, brave face. Go kick ass. I'll hold the fort, and the bed warm. Undercover blurred days, stakeouts in flyover towns, personas donned like skins, tension coiling constant. Nights, hotel loneliness gnawed. Video calls with Alex sustained. Whiskers photobombing for laughs. But distance stretched thin. Missed anniversaries. Curt updates when signals failed. Mid-mission, breakthrough. Raid in Tulsa yielding server drives. Names linking to a Willow ghost. Harlan Tate's nephew. Radicalized online. Jordan's gut twisted. Call to Tate urgent. Families involved. Talk him down. Tate's voice cracked. Kids lost. I'll try. Leverage worked. Nephew flipped. Testifying for leniency, ring crumbling. Glory headlines hailed Sergeant Hale's triumph, but return brought hollow. Alex greeted airport cool, hug brief, eyes shadowed. Congrats, hero. Book launch tomorrow, forgot. Jordan blanched. Shit. Flight delay storm. Alex's laugh stung. Storms pass. Trust erodes slower. The launch sparkled, crowd buzzing, toasts flowing, but undercurrents soured. Alex shone. Anecdotes sharp, but Jordan's arm around him felt performative. After party, over champagne flutes, it fractured. You're a ghost here, Alex hissed in the bathroom line. Physically home, mentally chasing dragons. Jordan reeled. I'm building legacy for us. Safety, change. Safety. Alex's voice rose, heads turning. Or control. Like dad's protect the family bullshit. The barb landed nuclear. Jordan stormed cab-bound. Fury boiling to tears. Loft dark on arrival. Alex's note. At Clara's. Need space. Panic surged. Therapy hotline first. Voice cracking to the on-call. I fixed the world. Broke my marriage. Dawn counseling emergency. Therapist Zoom face calm. Space is an end. It's breath. What do you need? Him. Me. Balance. Alex returned Eve. Duffel slung. Eyes wary. Clara mediated. Said we're both warriors. Forgetting the war's won. Talk stretched marathon. Hurts aired. Patterns named. Jordan's savior complex. Alex's retreat reflex. Breakthrough in tears. I love you enough to fight fair, Jordan vowed. No more solo missions. Alex softened. And I'll pull you back. Partners, not parallels. Rebuild started small. Pottery class redux. Hands in clay coiling pots lopsided but joint. Clara hosted recommitment dinner. Miah zooming toasts. Sarah sending wine. Whiskers approved, purring bipartisan. Fall foliage tour. Leaf peeping in Vermont. B&B's cozy. Bonfires crackling stories. One night, under quilt of stars, Alex turned serious. Kids? Ever think? Jordan paused, heart quickening. Yeah. Surrogate, adoption, messy, but ours. Alex's smile lit. Good. Start scouting. Back. Agency meets began. Profiles poured, hopes whispered. But twist. Clara's doc flagged anomalies. Scans iffy. Precautionary. Panic gripped. Jordan canceled shifts. Alex shelved edits. Loft a vigil of vending coffee. Biopsy waits stretched eternal. Arguments over what-ifs flaring, then fizzling in holds. Results landed gentle thunder. Benign, shadow from scar tissue. Relief tsunami. Group hug with Frankie the security dyke, who'd crashed with casseroles. Clara's quip. Fool me once, life's joke. Now, back to cruise planning, widows waiting. Winter danced in with first foster placement inquiry. Teen boy, trans, fleeing Bible Belt foster hell. Temporary, agency warned, trial run. Elliot arrived shy, backpack clutched, eyes dart owl. 16, sharp wit Under Armour. First dinner awkward, vegan tacos his pick, but ice cracked over board games. Elliot trouncing them at Monopoly with banker glee. Challenges mounted, school enrollment battles, pronoun standoffs with admin, nightmares jolting midnight. Jordan's cop lens scanned threats. Alex's artist I drew Elliot out, co-sketching comics of caped queers conquering. One crisis peaked, school bully incident, bruises blooming on Elliot's arm. Jordan's rage boiled, station call threatening charges, but Alex tempered. Win hearts, not courts. Mediation won, bully's dad, echoing Klein, gruff apology. Elliot's walls tumbled post, you didn't ditch. What? Jordan hugged awkward. Family sticks. Elliot's grin tentative. Cool. Spring brought permanence papers. Elliot's, yes, scribbled fierce. Brothers, he dubbed them, tattoos planned for 18. Clara's cruise tales. Met my match, Eleanor. Moving to Florida. You boys approve. Cheers echoed, wedding bells for her too. As summer crested, family barbecue on roof. Mia's crew, Sarah's, Tate video calling awkward. Elliot grilled, flipping burgers like pro. Jordan watched Alex laugh, heart full. Twists had tested, tempered, love, unbreakable. Years layered like sediment, steadying the fault lines. Elliot bloomed. High school grad with art scholarship, Jordan walking him stage. Alex snapping pics teary. Proud dad moment. Jordan whispered, arm around Alex, the word dad fitting new. Clara's Florida chapter thrived. Bungalow with Eleanor, weekly brunches where knitting met mahjong. Visits south became ritual. Beach walks, sunset toasts, her stories evergreen. Love late's the sweetest, she'd say, Eleanor nodding sage. Jordan's career arced. Unit model for nationals. TEDx talk on badges and rainbows, viral, invites global. But balance held. Sabbaths enforced, family first. Alex's series exploded. Graphic novels optioned for streaming, cameos scripted queer true. Yet complacency's siren sang soft. One anniversary, over Eiffel Tower escape, Paris whim. Alex mused beachside, we're legends in our tale. But what's next chapter? Jordan swirled wine. Babies. Elliot's nudge, surrogacy apps bookmarked. Alex's eyes sparked. Hell yes. Process labyrinth. Clinics, contracts, hopes hinged. Match came serendipitous. Surrogate Lena, a teacher with twin boys, queer ally since diapers. Consults bonded, shared playlists, dreams swapped. Pregnancy bloomed announcement bonfire. Family Zoom frenzy, Clara whooping grandma again. Elliot dubbed cool uncle, already baby-proofing his dorm. Complications crept third trimester. Lena's preeclampsia scare, bed rest ordered. Jordan paced hospitals. Alex sketched nurseries frantic. Breathe, therapist reminded sessions. Controls illusion. Vigil bonded deeper. Lena's hand squeezes gratitude, their circle tightening. Delivery dawned chaotic joy. Boy and girl, cries harmonizing. Naming ritual, Luca for light, Miah for illusion shatterer. Newborn Hayes hit hurricane. Feedings fractured sleep, diapers daisy-chained days. Elliot home breaks for burp duty. Clara flying north with Eleanor. Mia's tips texted hourly. Jordan's shifts cut. Paternity flex a win. But postpartum shadows loomed. Alex's anxiety spiking. Sketches stalled. Jordan's burnout flickering. Cases piling. One witching colic night. Twins wailing tandem. It cracked. We can't, Alex sobbed, rocking Miah futile. Failing them. Jordan bundled Luca, pulling Alex close. We're learning. Like Elliot. Like us. Dawn Therapy Tag Team. PPD unpacked. Support groups joined. Dads swapping war stories. Solidarity steel. Meds for Alex. Mindfulness for Jordan. Nanny share eased load. Twins' first dotted calendar. Luca's gummy grin. Mia's coo symphony. Beach trip cape. Sandcastle's queer flag topped. Waves lapping lullabies. Elliot's college send-off bittersweet. Dorm unpacked. Hugs fierce. Call anytime. Dweebs. He teased. Jordan's throat tight. Clara's health wobble. Routine check flagging. Rallied all. Florida fly. Specialist second op. Benign again. Her laugh defiant. Death shy around me. Tate's arc closed gentle. Passing quiet. While leaving land trust for Willow pride. Nephew's letter. Uncle's way of saying sorry. Keep fighting. Jordan spoke memorial. Alex beside. Redemption's late bloom. Honor it growing. Decade mark loomed. Vow renewal planned intimate. Central Park under oaks, echoing maple. Guests core. Family forged. Friends fire tested. Vows evolved. Jordan's through every plot twist. You my constant. Alex's you taught me home's a verb. Luca toddled aisle. Miah flower girl flinging petals wild. Dance floor swirled. Clara with Eleanor. Elliot with Beau. Mia's tots twirling. Post. Rooftop after party. Stars winking complicit. Jordan pulled Alex aside. Rings glinting. Bestseller weed right. Alex grinned. Epic. Unfinished. Perfect. Years stacked. Twins schoolbound. Elliot's wedding tying knots new. Partner Jamie. Ceremony fusing faiths queer. Clara's 90th bash. Cruise ship gala. Eleanor toasting. To late loves leading. Jordan retired badge at 50. Consultancy calling. Alex's studio hummed. Mentorships blooming. Grandkids trickled. Mia's. Elliot's. Chaos cherished. One eve. Porch swing replica. Maple homage. Twins grown debating dreams. Jordan leaned into Alex. Gray threading hair. Regrets. Alex's hand warm. None. You. Zero. Every conflict. Climax. Worth the page. Sun dipped. Painting sky promise. Story theirs. Ongoing. Love's narrative. Eternal twist.